Yes, welcome. Hello. We will talk about ontological unity and the levels of existence in Ibn Arabi. My name is Edip Dalla Turksoy. Today I would like to discuss the understanding of existence of Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi, who stands out for his metaphysical depth in the Islamic intellectual tradition within an academic and philosophical framework. This talk is of a historical and intellectual evaluative nature. It does not carry any directive intent. Ibn Arabi's profound and intricate philosophical system of thought is not merely a simple narrative of Sufi experience. Rather, he actively sought to articulate and present a comprehensive ontological model of reality. Ontology is the discipline that questions the nature and foundation of existence. This is precisely the main issue for Ibn Arabi as well. What is being? What is the real? How does multiplicity arise? The first and fundamental distinction in his system is unity. It is between the absolute and contingent existence. Absolute being is that which is necessary. Its existence is from itself and is not dependent on any condition. Contingent being, on the other hand, is that whose existence is not necessary and depends on another source. This distinction is essential in classical metaphysics. It recalls the debate on necessary being and contingent being. However, Ibn Arabi does not leave this distinction merely within a theoretical framework. He transforms it into a dynamic ontological relationship. It is here that the concept of the unity of being emerges. The unity of being is not simply a view that can be reduced to or interpreted as everything is God. On the contrary, it asserts that being is truly one, while the apparent multiplicity belongs to a level of reality that is contingent and dependent. For Ibn Arabi, true existence is only the absolute. Other beings are manifestations of this true existence, of its names and attributes. This manifestation is a form of ontological reflection. However, this reflection does not mean identity. At this point, the concept of tajalli, manifestation, is important. Tajalli is the absolute truth becoming visible in a particular form. However, the visible form is not the truth itself. It is merely an appearance. This understanding requires thinking of existence in levels. In Ibn Arabi's system, the concept of levels of existence presents ontology as a layered structure. The highest level is the realm of absolute and unlimited existence. Below this comes the manifestation of the names and attributes. After that, spiritual and material arrangements emerge. This structure does not deny multiplicity. On the contrary, it seeks to explain multiplicity. However, this multiplicity is not essential but relative. At this point, an epistemological dimension comes into play. If existence is in the essence, if the essence is one, how does a person perceive this unity? According to Ibn Arabi, the human being holds a central position among the levels of existence. A human encompasses both material and spiritual dimensions within themselves. For this reason, a human carries within both the relative order and the aspect that points to absolute truth. Let's not see the brand for a moment. Let's have a soda. Let me just take a quick sip of this and try to pull myself back together for a moment. Yes, that's better. This system of thought possesses a depth that can engage with modern debates on consciousness. Because here, consciousness is not considered merely a neurological process, but rather as an ontological positioning. However, throughout history, the understanding of time and existence has also been a subject of debate. While some perspectives find this approach metaphysically consistent, others consider it overly abstract and prone to misunderstanding. From an academic point of view, Ibn Arabi's thought can be examined on three fundamental axes. The first is the ontological axis, existence, its source and nature. The second is the epistemological axis, how is knowledge of the truth possible? The third is the anthropological axis, where does the human being stand within this ontological order? When these three axes are considered together, it becomes clear that Ibn Arabi's system is not merely a Sufi doctrine, but a comprehensive metaphysical model. His approach seeks to ground unity without denying multiplicity, and this places him in a unique position in the history of universal philosophy. Where were we? Yes, so let's get to the conclusion. In conclusion, the doctrine of Wahdat al-Wujud is not a reduced mystical discourse, but a comprehensive intellectual effort to explain the ontological foundation of existence. This evaluation has been presented within the framework of a historical and academic examination. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all once again.